All right, go ahead. First question for Avery.
Yeah, Cassie, wanted to start off with you. What did you learn about yourself, about Division I softball over the weekend, starting off that maybe you didn't or couldn't know before playing actual games against other teams?
It's still the same game. I feel like since we all played, but the players they just take the game to a whole different level. There's so many more things you have to nitpick and take control over. So that was just it, being aware of the situation and playing to the level.
And Kelly, wanted to ask you real quick about the new communication systems with pitchers this year. What was that like using those?
It's definitely still a learning in progress, but it makes the game quicker, and I think it keeps you in a good rhythm and tempo, to where you're not too slow or you can kind of get too quick. So you gotta be able to balance it. But I think it's been good for our game, and I think just speeding it up in general.
Jenny, then Jesse.
Hey Kelly, could you just walk us through a little bit of what you've taken from your time working with Jen to this point? Patty said you guys have really dove into the video side of things, just the learning there. What sort of stands out to you when you think about just that time that you and Jen have gotten to work together?
It was very different, I would say, from where I came from. I've never really watched much film and never really took the time to study other hitters, and so having this new knowledge has really elevated my game, and I think it's going to help me in the long run.
What Patty said, it's also video of you that you've watched to some degree. What have you picked up from that?
I think just we work a lot on kind of your mental state and your tempo, and just being able to keep that under control at times, so that when you do fall out of it, you can get back into it. So just being aware of your own body.
Anything surprised you from watching yourself?
No.
Kasidi, last week obviously your first career tournament, but heading into your first career at bat, obviously the Grand Slam. But just what was your mindset? Were you nervous heading into that first career at bat? Just take me through where you were at walking up to the plate.
I wouldn't say I was nervous. We prepared for this at bat, and we watched so much film on the pitcher that it was just another live AB. So I just went into it. Kinsey helped me throughout my at bat. She said something to me on second base that really made me keep my composure.
Did it feel surreal, just the ball coming off the back, it going over the fence?
It was like I saw the pitch and I swung and I knew it was over. There was no thoughts else. It was ball swing, home run.
Bob and then Eli.
Kelly, how much you think games like Duke and Washington this early in the season will really help the team grow?
It's definitely a learning curve. I think we have a lot to learn from by playing those types of teams this early on. Just being able to know what we need to work on here on out, and just using that and keep moving forward.
Kasidi, you were comfortable in Mexico, but Patty just spoke about your comfort since you've gotten here and not being afraid to ask veterans for asking questions, not being afraid not to know. Your comfort here, what's made that so easy for you settling in?
It kind of started through the recruiting process. Here always felt like home, and I always felt welcome, but the seniors have proven a point that we're not freshmen. We're a part of this team. Any question you have, ask. If you need to talk, you can speak up and talk. So.
And for you as a leader, I know you just played your first weekend tournament, but that role for yourself, is that something that's comfortable for you? It comes now or comes later?
Yeah, my select team I've played on for 8 years, and I was the captain of that team. So just being able to take control and just talk everyone through it and keep everyone composed is something I feel confident doing.
James?
Kelly, you were so good in Mexico. I'm curious if, this whole new environment, this new colors you're wearing, the new team you're on. You've been on so many international teams. Is the circle just the circle and you're just pitching, or do you actually get into the new environment you're in?
I'm just trying to stay present, to enjoy the moment. I know this is my last year, and I'm just trying to make the most of every part of it. So just really relying on my defense and my teammates, and just knowing that how good we are and how great we can be if we all work together.
Did you feel like you got in a pretty good groove in Mexico?
I was pretty nervous the first game. It probably showed a little bit, but I settled in. I felt like the Washington game that was me, and that was who I've been all these years.
And Cass, if I can ask you, you know, you've hit in the middle of the lineup your whole life, I know, you know, but you're hitting in the middle of the lineup for the #1 team in the country now, and Ella is too. Do you guys even think about that? Does that matter where you're hitting in the lineup?
No, like towards like the main goal is just pass the bat. So wherever you're in the lineup, your one job is to pass the bat no matter where you are. So just staying and stick to that is fine.
Chapman?
Cassie, you mentioned Kinsey saying something. What did she say to help settle you in there?
I actually don't remember. I took first pitch strike, then 2 balls, and I just like had to reset myself, take a breath, and she said something to me. I don't quite remember word for word, but
Yeah.
I heard her voice and I was like, all right, let's go.
Did you notice from like day one, even through the Washington game, that now college so much more film and things like that, being able to have like everyone's dialed in more of a scouting report for you and how that kind of like evolved throughout the weekend?
It helps having like a little preview of a look, but then like in game you have to make adjustments on the spot. So like it comes and goes like with what helps and what doesn't. So.
And then Kelly, I know you talked about being able to work on your film, things like that. I mean, Coach is known for her defense behind being stud all the time. Is there like a more aggressive nature? Does that change how you can pitch when you step in with Coach Gasso's defense kind of behind you, knowing that what it's been historically?
Absolutely, I think you could attack the hitter more. Just trust your pitches through, spinning them through the zone rather than always trying to nibble at the corners or trying to go for the strikeout. Just let your defense work behind you.
Anything further? Jenny?
Kasidi, you're a Texas girl like Kelly. She's obviously several years older than you. Did you know of her coming up through the youth ranks? Was Kelly somebody you knew much about?
No, we're both from Houston, but we're like an hour apart.
I'm old.
Yeah, she's kind of like an older.
What have you gotten to know about her as you know, she's one of the older players now on the team. What do you sort of learn about her and just what she brings to the squad?
She's very composed. Like watching her pitch and being on our side is very like welcoming to know that like I don't have to hit off of her in a game. So I'll take that any day. But she's a very good person at heart, and I'm proud of you for going to vet school. That's pretty impressive.
Thanks.
Avery and then Chapman?
Yeah, I wanted to ask y'all, I know we're a couple weeks away from it, but what are y'all most looking forward to about the new place and playing at Love's Field?
I think just seeing the fans in the stands, because I mean they're a big part of this program and all the alumni that have came before and what Coach Gasso's done here. So I think just seeing kind of that payoff is kind of what's going to be most eye-opening.
I feel like it's very rewarding for the sport of softball. Like this is what is expected for the #1 program. Like we love it here, but like being able to play in a stadium that big that holds that many people and knowing that we'll sell it out any day is like good for the sport. I feel like just continuing to push.
Cassie, going back to the Washington game, Kelly and Nicole are so like ice cold, calm in the circle. Peyton comes in, has that fit, then looks like firing you guys up. What kind of different dynamics that add when you have someone that can come in and not just deliver that performance from the circle, but then like head to the dugout and be like, let's go, stuff like that. Does that change the dynamic at all, or are you guys just, is there so much time that you're like, okay, that was cool, now I need to like get focused back in to go ahead?
I'd say we feed off our pitchers a lot, but like we know how much they work on their composure and like what they do in the bullpen. That like if they get fired up, we'll get fired up with them. But if they want to keep calm, like we'll stay behind them too.
We have time for one more. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.